Hi, you are watching or listening to the orientation course for CDR's e-training program, and I'm just going to spend the next few minutes walking you through what a normal class looks like with in this training, so that you know how to navigate the course and so you can really succeed in these courses with as few problems as possible. All right, so when you open up a course, you are going to be looking at a page like this right here. So this is an example from my personal email account or my personal Google account of the disease course. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up the course like you see here. You're going to click this link here about the registration here, and this is for Q3 of 2018, which is past now, but anyway, so what you'll do is you'll just scroll down and you'll just answer all the questions there. You do have to answer all of the questions. Unfortunately, for each of the courses you have a very similar registration process, because we have to, for each course you take, get this information over and over again. So I know that's going to get a little bit monotonous, but it should be a pretty quick process. You have to hit submit. At the end of every form you do in this course, you have to hit this blue submit button right here. All right, so after you submit that, you're going to X out, and you're going to go down here to the course syllabus. And I'll tend to talk you through what a course syllabus looks like here. It'll give the name of the syllabus at the top. It'll talk about the main objective or objectives in each course. It's going to go through the grading system and how that's handled. Typically, people don't have a problem with getting through everything. However, what sometimes will hold somebody back is if I am not in agreement with what they wrote on their assignment. That sometimes I'll have to ask somebody to redo. This next part here, it talks about the different the different things that you have to that you get, the different types of credit you're going to get for the course. The one most people are concerned about with e-training are these CCDF training areas. If you take all 5 of Earth Health and Safety courses, you will receive all 10 of those health and safety items that you have to receive, 1 through 11 minus the CPR and first aid. Now, you do have 1 week to complete most courses from the day the invitation is sent. That's 7 days. The exception to this one is the Intro to Child Care course. You can have up to 2 weeks to complete, because that is a longer and more in-depth course. All right, so what to expect. This course never should be done on a phone. None of these courses should ever be done on a phone. Most of the time, you probably don't even want to use a tablet. You're going to want to use a computer. This is going to be almost impossible to navigate well on a telephone, and very difficult to even navigate on a tablet. So you need to be sitting in front of a proper desktop or laptop computer. You're going to read through the syllabus for each course, and you're going to complete each course in the order that it's listed. So each course is going to have a course introduction, a pretest, some type of PowerPoint, sometimes an additional reading. Sometimes you're going to have like a YouTube video that I've posted or something like that, and then a post-test. After you take the pretest, everything else has to be done in order. So you have to complete also the course evaluation after the post-test. Now, this is what hangs people up sometimes also, is they forget to do the course evaluation. You have to do the course evaluation for every single course that you take in here, including the orientation. What happens is that I get a notification on my end once you complete the evaluation, and that's my cue that you've completed the course. Okay, so if you've completed the orientation course, I know at that point that I can send you access to all the other courses. If you finish one of the other courses, I know that I can go in there and look at everything and send you confirmation that everything's good with that. I want everyone to remember that CDR's e-training courses are taken on the honor system. All assignments, tests, and all of that has to be completed by you. As with if you were a student at any university, we do expect high academic integrity, because this is a learning process, and we want to know that everyone is learning themselves and not basically stealing is what you're doing if you're using other people's information like that. If you have any questions, email me at kbrothers@ches.ua.edu or give me a phone call at the phone number that's listed on your syllabus. Email really is the best way to contact me. The reason for this is that I don't drag my feet as much on email as I do on returning phone calls sometimes. The other reason is because it gives us a paper trail in case, there's some type of problem. I've many times been able to go back and figure out what went wrong or, see where I made a mistake or something because we have that, that proof in the email. So emailing really is the best way to contact me. All right, so you've completed looking at the syllabus, so X that out. You're going to scroll down and you're going to click pretest. Okay, you click pretest, you're going to type your email address in, any personal information I ask. That should look mostly the same on that. You're going to get to the end after you answer all 10 questions and you're going to click submit. Again, you have to click submit, okay, because we have to have your pretest and your post-test answers here. You'll watch the PowerPoint that I've put together. Unfortunately, for some of these courses, the health and safety ones in particular, these PowerPoints are not super exciting. So just bear with me here. You'll see that some people have written done or something underneath that. You can type done in if you want to, but that's not necessary. I will sometimes, like I said, put in some type of YouTube video or some type of writing assignment. Sometimes these YouTube videos will explain things better or at least in a more entertaining way sometimes than I'm able to. It also kind of gives you a break from having to listen to me all the time. All right, you're going to scroll down here at this point. Okay, this is where I really want to y'all to pay attention. This is where we have problems a lot of times in submission, and it really would like for people to do this well so that I don't have to go searching for things on my end. Now I've changed up the actual questions at some point, so you probably won't have to write as many as 12 sentences, so be sure you read the instructions, but I do want to show you how to submit your answer. Okay, so here's the question here. Okay, underneath the question you'll see where my cursor is. It'll say your answer. You're going to type your answer here. Okay, and then you're going to click the submit button right there, and then you're going to click yes, you want to submit your answer. And then that's over. Okay, it's submitted at that point, and that's good. So then you'll scroll down, click the post-test. You'll go through and take it just like you did the pre-test. You fill in any information that it asks for up here. Go through, true, false, all the way through, and then you're going to click submit at the end. Easy enough. All right, and then the course evaluation, same thing. Again, this is how I know that you have completed the course, so you have to do this. You have to do this. You're going to put in your name, your email address where you like the certificate sent at the end. Answer all of those questions, and then again you click submit at the very end so that I can be sure that I mark you down as having completed everything. And then that's really going to be the end of a course. Most of these will take about 2 hours. I do want to tell you that we're not able to send out certificates immediately. Those are going to be sent to you at the end of, or towards the middle of the first month of the next quarter. So for instance, right now we're finishing up June, which is the end of the quarter. So it's probably, for these people who have taken courses this quarter, it's probably going to be like mid to late July before you receive your certificates. I do send out an email saying that, so-and-so has completed such and such a course, which covers such and such training areas. So be sure that you receive that from me. And I would encourage people to print those out and put them in their files until they do receive their hard certificates, because you want that type of evidence in case anyone pops in and wants to know if y'all have been doing your training. Now, that brings me to another point, and that is, do not wait until the last minute. It's just no fun for you to be waiting until the last minute and rushing and panicking, thinking that you may be closed down next week because you don't get your training hours in. You need to stay on top of this. You don't know when I may or may not be, out of the office because of, because of meetings or family things or illness. So you don't want to be in a situation where you cannot get in touch with me and you're up a creek. So be on top of this. Be working 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 months ahead of time, so you have these training hours ready when you need them ready. All right, so I'm going to bring up a PowerPoint here, just a really, really, really short PowerPoint of some basic things I just really, really want to stress because of some issues that we have had in the past. In order to take these courses, these e-training courses, you do have to have a basic understanding of the computer. You do have to be able to, open up Word documents and, surf the internet and click links and navigate your email. Okay, we're not asking for coding or writing some type of program or something like this, but you really, really do have to be able to navigate a computer at a fairly basic level. You will not do well if you don't. So if you are not very computer savvy, my suggestion to you is that you find a friend or a colleague who might be able to walk you through things. I can help out a little bit on my end, but I cannot spend a whole lot of time helping you with technical problems. All right, next thing is you have to have your own email address. If you don't have your own email address, you have to get one. I would encourage everyone to use a Google Mail address. If you're creating one, we use Google Classroom as our platform, and so Google is just going to run a little bit better with that. We've had very few problems with other emails. So if you have a Yahoo address or a Hotmail address or something like that, it's probably going to be fine. So don't go panic and go and start getting yourself a new email address just because you think you have to. You don't. Most of those work well. If for some reason we have a glitch, we may have to ask you to do that. What I'm saying is that if you don't have your own email address, you need to get one and you need to use Google Mail. All right, next thing is keep your name consistent. Pretty much every quarter so far, I'll have 1 or 2 people who use different names on their registration and their evaluations, and their director will email me, referring to them by a different name, and it just causes a lot of confusion. So if your director calls you by, Jane Doe, and your email address is Jane Doe, at AOL.com, don't email me using, the name, Frances Jane or something like that. Just keep your name consistent. Keep it to the name that you want printed on your certificate at the end of the quarter. This is very important here. Also, if you don't hear from me within 48 business hours, contact me again, because I really try to keep on top of things, but things do occasionally fall through the cracks, and I don't want you to fall through the cracks. So you are your best advocate. So contact me if you haven't. Sometimes you may not have heard from me because I am out of town. Sometimes you may not hear back from me because I've just got a lot going on. Sometimes you may not hear back from me because I have made some type of error on my end and not flagged an email that I need to respond to or something. So if you don't hear back from me within about 2 days, contact me. You have 1 week to complete most courses, 2 weeks to complete Intro to Childcare, and I do get more strict on this towards the end of the quarter because we do on our end have to turn in quarterly numbers and things like that, and I can't be waiting around for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks at the end of the quarter to finish things. So you really need to stay within that 1 week, 2 week for Intro to Childcare courses. I already said this, but be sure you click submit at the end of pre-test, post-test, and evaluations. It'll be a blue button. You have to click that because if you don't, then it's going to make things confusing for everybody. So be sure you do that. All writing assignments need to be 6 full sentences unless otherwise noted. The reason we put assignments in here is because it's to kind of take the place of discussion that we might have if you were on campus taking the same course on campus. Okay, so Don't give me a 2-word sentence. Don't give me 3, 4-word sentences. Give me a good solid paragraph, 6 sentences, giving a well thought out answer to your question. That way I know that you've synthesized the information and that you have a basic understanding, or better than basic understanding, of whatever that particular course is about. Okay. Submit your answer where it says your answer. And we talked about this a minute ago when we were going through the actual course itself. But you're going to write your answer. Oh, I'm trying to get the pen going on here, and the pen does not want to work. Okay, here's the laser pointer. You're going to write your answer here where it says type your answer, and then that's gonna turn, this button here, the submit button, is gonna turn blue, and you're going to click that. Okay. There is a little thing down here that's going to say private comments. Do not write your name or your answer under private comments. Write it under your answer and then click submit. Okay. And last but not least, is something we've already said here, is except for Introduction to Child Care, all courses must be completed within 7 days. So be sure that you do that. All right, so I think that pretty much covers everything. Again, I hope that these are helpful for you. I hope that they're not too boring, these health and safety courses especially. If you can get past the health and safety courses, which is the big push, you may really find interesting the other courses that we offer. Currently, at the time of this recording, we'll be offering Just Say No to Worksheets and Building Babies' Brains, and a new one on extroversion and introversion and different personality types within the classroom. So I would encourage you to sometimes pick out a fun training also, so that you can get a more well-rounded idea of the child. So if you have any questions, please shoot me an email, phone call if you need to, but again, email is really the best way to contact me. If you give me a telephone call and you leave your phone number, please be clear and say your phone number slowly so that I can contact you back. Sometimes I'll have people rush through their telephone numbers and I cannot understand what they said, and then I cannot contact the person back. And that is one way people fall through the cracks. So be sure that you are clear when you're speaking on my voicemail. And anyway, let me know if you have any questions. This is still a relatively new program, and we're still working out glitches and trying to figure out the best system for how to do things. So we thank you for your patience in this opportunity to help you as you are serving these sweet children of ours in Alabama.